Okay, this airport video is going to be a little different from my previous couple. It's not going to be so much of an airport update as it is going to be kind of me showcasing some of my really nice models, the ones I really like, not the standard big three airlines. I've got my JetBlue fleet, my Frontier fleet, my WestJet 737s are out there, Virgin America, and then a bunch of Alaska finishing up at that far side of the airport. All right, I'll talk to you a little bit about some of the details. Other than bringing my models out and swapping them up, I've made a ton of baggage carts for these particular carriers, which is another reason why I chose which ones I have to set out there today. The baggage carts came out really nice. Getting to my JetBlue models. Here's one of my custom ones right here. Again, these start out as the standard Gemini model. The only thing I change is the tail, the registration, and the nose art. Otherwise, it's the standard A320. Here you can start seeing some of my JetBlue baggage carts. Next to the C190. Next to that is my custom E190, Blue Getaways. Here's the standard Gemini A320 with, again, my customization on the baggage carts. And then the standard Gemini A321. And that is my JetBlue fleet. I have the new one on order that comes out this month, the Blueprint E190, so that'll be my number 6 for my JetBlue fleet. All right, getting into my Frontier ones. These are just my Gemini Frontier models. This doesn't count all the Starjets, Hogan, and various other Frontier aircraft I have. I just have the metal ones out there today. My Frontier Customs have typically come out really nice, and this one is the first one here. This is Orville the Red Cardinal. Again, just like my JetBlue models, this one started off as a standard Frontier Gemini A320, and I did the tail swap, the winglet swap, and then the nose art. Here's a couple of the old livery A319s, again both Gemini. This one is Foxy the Foxtail, and this one over here is the Earl the Walrus Tail. I'm really proud of my Frontier Customs. Here's some of my Frontier custom baggage carts. All right, next to that is the standard Gemini 200 A320. Here's another one of my customs, A321, Virginia the Wolf. And then arriving here at gate number 12 is the standard Gemini Howling Wolf livery 319. Okay, and I'm wrapping up the Frontier. Here's the standard Gemini A321, the Ferndale the Owl. And there's my Frontier ones. All right, moving over to Virgin America, I've got 3 currently. The first 2 over here are from JC Wings. Kind of a unique model. It's a metal fuselage with plastic wings and plastic tail. Kind of strange. I don't think I've ever seen another model that has that kind of combination to it. And then across the way is the Gemini 201 A320 with the sharklets. You can see my observation lounge in my terminal. There's another one I have over here at the end of this concourse, if I can remember to show you when I get over there. And now getting into my WestJet ones. This one is my 737-800 100th Boeing next generation aircraft. The decals are from V1. All in all, the V1 decals are super high quality. They're really easy to get on. Have had great success with them. This particular set with the Frontier, I'm sorry, with the WestJet livery, I will say though that the blue seems to be a little off. You can tell it's a little too much of a greenish hue to it when you compare it to the color that I think it probably should be. There's just a little too much, like I said, green in there. Otherwise, kind of little nitpicky details, but there you go. Still like the way that one came out. So there's the standard Gemini 1 700 series. Next to that is another 700 series. This one's got the tartan tail. Again, the decals are from V1. And that one came out really nice. And you can start seeing some of my custom WestJet baggage carts over here. And then next to that one, there's a couple of the centered Gemini Series 800s. I think gates 19 and 20. All right. Getting into some of my Alaska models. I've got some of the new livery ones on this side. The one on the front is a 900ER. And then you can start seeing some of my custom Alaska carts. Pretty simple ones. All right, next to that are two 800 series in the new livery with the scimitar winglets. Next to that is a Spirit of Seattle 800 series, gate number 28. There's a standard Gemini 800 with the old livery with the lay on the tail. All right, here is my very first 1:200 scale model. It is the old livery 737-700. As I was talking about, here's the other observation lounge on the front of this one. All right, moving on. Another 800. I'm sorry, this one is the in-flight 900 series with the standard wing with no winglets. All right, another new livery 900ER. An 800 with the lay on the tail. Here's the Spirit of the Islands livery 800 series. And then wrapping up my Alaska fleet here is the Starliner 75th 737-800. All right, I'm getting into the RJs. Got a couple old school Alaska ones here. The CRJ 700s are operated by SkyWest. The one at gate number 37 is just pulling out. The Q400 getting fueled up. You can see I kind of modified these setups on these two -8s here. Those are Herpa staircases that are leading up to the jetway. They're trimmed down. I had to cut down the size of them to make them fit. Other than fitting at the jetway, they also fit for, say, an E-145 or a CRJ size aircraft. They're sized to that height. Okay, here's one of my favorite custom jobs. My Frontier Q400. This is the only decal set I could find for this model. I would love to get more made, but like I said, the mountain lion tail is the only one I can find. This one's got the custom loading ramp coming off the aircraft, another Herpa stairway that leads up to the gate, as well as the gate check cart. See some of my open face carts with the luggage on them, and then the belt loader coming up into the aircraft. Pretty awesome setup there. All right, wrapping up this concourse, here are my three CRJs. Frontier CRJ 700s and 900s operated by Jet Express. The first two are 900s and the one in the back is the 700. getting into my commuters. I have 3 set up of the SkyWest Embraer 120 Brazilias. This one's just loading up. One behind it, the pilots are heading out to do their pre-flight. And then the third one in the row there is just arrived. They're just starting to getting the luggage off of the back, and the flight attendants are leaving the aircraft. And then wrapping up, last but not least, we got a pair of Air Canada Q400s in the old livery. You can see I've got my open luggage carts loading up this one, as well as getting it fueled, as well as being hooked up to the GPU in the front. This one in the foreground is the Herpa version, and the one in the background is the Gemini 200. Both are good versions. I'm kind of a little more of a fan of the Herpa one than the Gemini, a little more detail on some of the markings on the fuselage, and I always have said that the propellers on the Herpa model are much better than the propellers on the Gemini. And this one is in the process of loading up. And that is the entire airport. Again, some really beautiful models out there today for this one. A lot of custom models. And hopefully you got a chance to see some of the good detail I have. Again, with my baggage carts. You see a lot of the airport personnel, a lot of the tarmac markings. Very happy to show this airport to you all.